time from deep. Party time in this arena.
Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Yes, hello and welcome to the Hungry Jacks NBL. We're in Sydney this afternoon as the Kings take on the Brisbane Bullets. The home side looking to bounce back, while the Bullets, are they set to debut three-time NBL champion Casey Prather? We will find out. That is for sure. We're getting closer to the business end of the season. Both teams know just how important a win is here today. Wonderful to be with you. I'm Jo Healy alongside a former league MVP in Derek Rucker. D, great to be with you this afternoon. I want to ask you about the Kings. You've been pretty ruthless in terms of your assessment of them. Where do you stand with them right now?
Well, Joe, I was quite honest in my opinion, based on the facts at the time. And the Kings right now are not performing at the level that this management group, that this ownership group expects. As we look at the Mitsubishi Motors ladder, the Kings sitting in fourth place, albeit precariously, because Illawarra are really right there playing good basketball, trying to get into the top four. The Kings were assisted today by the New Zealand Breakers losing against the Perth Wildcats. So it's up to the Kings today, Joe, to prove me wrong, handle their business, and start to consolidate their position in the four.
And wouldn't they love to prove you wrong? Now, we mentioned Casey Prather off the top. I spoke to Justin Schuller before the game. He said we are likely to see him for 10 to 15 minutes max. What are you expecting?
Well, I spoke to Casey just a couple of minutes ago. He told me 8 to 10. So I'm not sure how many minutes it turns out to be eventually, but I know this. If he gets off to a good start, there's no way you're going to be able to restrict him to just 10, 12 minutes in this ball game, Joe. He's too talented, and this game means too much to the Bullets.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing him out there. Now, defense for the Kings has been an issue recently. Have a look at those numbers there. What do you see?
Well, they're not good, and they're indicative of a team that's really struggling to piece 40 minutes of solid, intense defense together. They need to turn that around this afternoon, Joe. This game tips off in about 4 minutes, and there needs to be a drastic shift in their mentality towards defending the Brisbane Bullets. They got to turn it around right here.
Well, Brad Rosen spoke to Coach Mood about their defense a short time ago. Here's what he had to say.
Seen what lineups are going to work, seen what guys are going to be hot. If I feel that a certain guy is struggling, it's not just from the game. I put a lot into in regards to rotations, lineups, from practice, from previous games, certain matchups. So a lot goes into it. But yeah, I'm just trying to find the right guys that are going to put forth the effort and put us in position to succeed.
Now, Derek, the Kings, the Melbourne United rather, went on a 13-0 run the last time they played in that third quarter. How do they fix that up?
Well, Joe, it's just a matter of personal pride and deciding I'm shutting my man down. I'm following the script defensively that we worked on all week, that we prepared for since last August. But what was more alarming, Joe, wasn't the fact that they gave up those points. I didn't like the physical response from the Kings, the way their body language looked as they were starting to go down. This team has enough talent. They've got enough athleticism and know-how. Here's a big test for them today.
Let's switch our focus to the Bullets. Nathan Sobey, he's been in excellent form recently, averaging almost 28 points in his last 4 games. What have you liked about the way he's stepped up?
Well, I thought his last game against Southeast Melbourne was one of his best performances in a Brisbane Bullets lineup. Look at how he's improving his game, and it's needed. They finally got off of that 4-game losing streak against the Phoenix, but Sobey is one of the most impactful players in the competition when he gets it going. He's an elite athlete. He knows how to score, but what I really liked in the last game, Joe, was that he came out with a plan. He knocked down mid-range jumper after mid-range jumper, got his confidence up, and then he was able to go whack-act from the corner and find his 3-ball. If he gets it going today for the Bullets, the Kings are in for a very long, he'll be in for a very big night against this Kings defensive lineup.
Well, from one of their vets to the future of Australian basketball, Rocco Zikarsky, it's bright where he's concerned, isn't it?
He is a fantastic rim protector at the age of 17. We were critical of Coach Justin Schuller for taking him out of the game a couple of games ago against New Zealand. But I love how Rocco has handled his responsibility in this team as a young man, and I think today is a great test for him. playing against some of the Kings bigs, and I think he can really have a positive impact in this afternoon's game.
We're really looking forward to this. The tip not far away. We'll hand it over to Jack Heverin and Brad Rosen now for the call.
Thank you very much, Joe, and good afternoon, everyone. Gee, this is a very, very big game, Brad Rosen. Great to have your company. Big test straight away here for both Brisbane and for Sydney.
Great to be here, and you are 100% correct. This is going to be great. I think what Derek was saying there is just so true. I feel it's going to be on the back of Sobey today. If he can do what he can do, they're able to get that done. You saw the starting five is the same one that started last game for the Kings. But it's about shutting down the guards, and that's something that the Kings have struggled over the last few weeks.
So starting lineup for the Sydney Kings, Shaun Bruce remains as a starter. And for the Brisbane Bullets, Scott, Sobey, McDaniel, Bannon and Harrison.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see who gets the matchup on Jalen Adams. My gut feeling would say McDaniel. They want to try and shut him down and get him going, which I thought Melbourne did a brilliant job at.
Sunday afternoon at Kudos Bank Arena. It'll be the Bullets in possession first up. Now officials Vaughan Mabry, Ken Widgeon and Jackie Dover. This Sobey. With Shaun Bruce up in the air, and the Bullets with the opening points.
I like that start. I mentioned in the open with Joe that I liked how Nathan, in the last game against the Phoenix, found his range from the mid-range, Brad, started to attack the bucket and then opened up his offensive repertoire as the game wore on.
And as that range was good, that's why Shaun Bruce jumped. He knew how he's been shooting.
Galloway on the move, good take. They have to start well, Sydney. And Galloway's one that they'll be looking for a big afternoon from. Sobey aggressive early on. He wanted a foul. The officials said no, sir. Kawhi scores. Sydney with a couple of early buckets.
Up and down early. 5 possessions already. 4 possessions in 1 minute.
And Harrison trying to get himself busy. It's going to be a good matchup, Harrison and Hunter.
Well, I like when Brisbane do slow down. I think that's when they're at their best. If they come downhill as Galloway, just so athletic, goes to the hoop and makes a basket. But when Brisbane slow it down, Derek, you say so many times here, don't get in a track meet with Sydney.
Sam McDaniel trying to find the roller. Josh Bannon, the Bullets, coming off a good win last week in the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Bannon played a big part in that. He thought about the 3-ball, got it back, stripped by Hunter. And Galloway gets to the other end. Ultra fast start. Can't score that time though. Sam McDaniel, 14 last Saturday in that win. Played 30 minutes as well as spending some big minutes for the Bullets this year and backing it up.
Tough matchup there for Bruce. Isolated. Got back down into the key, and McDaniel's really good from 18 feet and in offensively. High efficient scorer.
What a pass inside. Jalen Adams for Noy. What are you seeing from Sydney early on, Brad?
Well, I like when they are slow. Galloway, there is an emphasis of going to him, and I do like that they're going downhill. But when they get there, have a look. If it's not on, get a nice set like that one, and they'll get some easy baskets.
Nathan Sobey will be on the free throw line. First time this afternoon.
Look at this Harvey Norman replay. Galloway, Adams just probing. And Noy reads it really well. Decides to slip out of that. Adams with a real dime. A concerning sign early for the Kings is Nathan Sobey is getting this ball to wherever he wants to on the floor right now. And you have to be very careful with Nathan Sobey. We know how talented yet volatile he is as a scorer. You let this guy get cooking, and you have no apparent way to slow down his meal preparation, Brad. Could be in for a long day.
Yeah, you're right. He is one of those players that he can be so good for you, but also against you at
Why
some
do you have
stages.
to bring that up? You and Drewy, always killing Sobes.
Says the guy who he can go both ways.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you started that.
Yeah.
Brad just joined in after it. Adams stepping back. Kicks it for Bruce. Look at this ball movement from the Kings. Kawhi with the offensive rebound. Hunter with an offensive rebound. And scores.
Well, that's what we're talking about. When they get in that half-court set, the thing that was brilliant that sometimes the Kings get in struggle to, that time they gave up good shots for great shots. Look at these passing, exactly what you were saying, Jack, from one to the other, gives them time to crash the glass, and then they get 2 offensive rebounds and a 3-point play.
Well, it was interesting. After the last game, Jordy Hunter spoke up and said that as a group, they need to figure this out right now. It's good to see him back up his words with some commitment early on. You can see he's playing with a bit more spirit than we saw the other night, especially in the second half against Melbourne United.
They completely fell apart in the third quarter on Thursday, Sydney. Conceded 35 against Melbourne United and came up well short in the end. It's a tip back out to Josh Bannon. And he throws it away.
From the end line, Jalen.
Just got his angles wrong there. Bannon's had a really good first year for the Brisbane Bullets. Smart player, unassuming as he accumulates really good numbers.
Hunter kept it alive. And the Kings can reset. 6:21 remaining in the opening quarter.
Hey, basket.
Basket's waved away. As Kawhi draws a foul.
That Adams-Noy on-ball situation is giving them problems, Brad. And if I was the Kings, I'm going to that over and over. Move the ball, get it back to Adams, getting P&R with Noy.
Well, I do like when Adams is doing that. He's shooting 40% from the field, but this year 28% from the three-point line. And when he's able to come off and give those couple assists, now 2 to Noy, that is what opens up games. Derek, you've been there in situations like that.
Let me ask you this. Knowing that he's only at 28% from the 3, are you willing to go under that arm ball, Brad?
No, because the guy can get going. And to me, you don't want to give him that chance to get going. So double it or go hard over the top all the time.
And Baines checks into the game. Just constantly in motion at the moment, Sydney. Galloway tries to isolate Sobey. Himself a little out of control. Shannon Scott's the other end. Finds McDaniel, who was fouled hard by Bruce.
That was great defense on the other end by Nathan Sobey in a one-on-one situation against a very talented player. And great kick-ahead pass as we see Sobey do a really good job of keeping his chest in front of the player. And great kick-ahead pass. Scott is easy money right here. 2 shots from McDaniel.
Derek, I wanted to ask you, we know how good Galloway is. Is that the one thing in his game that is maybe that little bit short where it's the pull-up or the floater? Because right now, it's straight through whoever's on that chest.
It seems he's more comfortable, as most players are, in transition with that ball on the ground. But in a play like that in the half court, he hasn't quite elevated his game and his skills to consistently make good plays. And we saw it right there.
And Sam McDaniel misses both. Early burgers for Sydney fans. The code word is step. Tell them Sam sent you.
Well, that's a tough matchup for Baines because Bolden inside and outside can go. So nice first step, as you just said there.
14-8 lead early on for the Kings. They are fast starters. They average 25 points in quarter number 1. Jalen Adams is whistled for his first.
I like this lineup that the Kings have out on the floor right here. Now, hopefully they don't make me a fool and go to sleep like we know they can at times, Brad. But
I think you do a pretty good job of that yourself, so
Thank
it's
you,
okay.
Appreciate it. But I like this lineup right here, and I'm curious to see how they go because I would like to see more of a steady diet of regular groups of 5 out on the floor. A lot of substitutions we've spoken about from the Kings throughout the season. I like to see extended minutes for more groups of 5.
Well, I spoke to, as Casey Prather now checks in, wow, isn't it great to see him back? as Mitch Norton steps as well. I spoke to Coach Mood before the game, and I asked him about the substitutions, and he did say he's trying to find that rotation that can get stops. So we're interested to see if this does.
And a bit of soul searching since Thursday. Bolden finds Jalen Adams.
And I say it over and over, that's the advantage of playing Jonah up there at the top. He provides so many dimensions as a player up there. It's crazy not to be giving him more minutes.
Mitch Norton, head down to the basket. He can't score. Tui, they're putting a real emphasis on rushing that ball and trying to rush Brisbane defensively. Shot clock at 9. Inside Galloway for Tui.
Yeah, little
out of play. A little hook, sorry.
Yeah, you can see that from Tui. Derek, the thing I noticed here is in each possession, they're going at Jalen Adams on the offensive end. So the first possession was Sobey, straight there and got the foul. This possession here, the next possession, Norton going. They are targeting him on the defensive end.
It's the presence of Baines. He finished with that little left-handed floater. The Kings wait for the cavalry to arrive. Tui, feed for Bolden. Going through the contact. Nice work to tip it back to Tui.
And I really got my eye on Casey Prather just to see how he's movement, see what his feet are like, see if he's able to maintain a stance on both ends of the floor, see what the handle's like. That'll give us a good idea of how he'll probably track for the rest of the year if Sobey lets one go.
His pass was deflected. Pressure from Jalen Adams, who throws it up for Galloway. Switched on in the first quarter, the Sydney Kings. They lead by 10.
Turnover from Sobey as he lets it fly from 3. Galloway flies on the other end, Jack. Slam dunk, Kings up by 10 early.
Loving what Adams is giving him this first little bit. That's his 4th assist of the game. And that's what you want from your point guard when shooting isn't what it normally does. But great first couple of minutes here from the Sydney Kings.
So snooze timeout, 20-10. And Jalen Galloway, as we sort of start to get to that stage now where we're looking at awards and who are the leading candidates. I know this is normally Pete Hooley's bag, but that man, Jalen Galloway, most improved player, belongs in that conversation, sure.
He certainly does. When you look at his impact of this team, and I think the disruptive nature of him, just with his athleticism and his physical presence, he's starting to add that to his game. And you look at his numbers, up in minutes played, doubled output from the point productivity perspective, Brad. I know you've been a big fan all season.
Yeah, I have. He's just, I was just so upset when he got injured because he really did come out at the beginning of this year and just went bang. And I feel now he's getting back to that stage. You could see that shoulder was a little bit hampering him as it would when you get back. But yeah, he is certainly a guy that, look, you just want to watch him play because I don't know how long he's going to be here for. You know, he's got that NBA body.
He's got a bright future. What's he missing if we're talking about future aspirations? What does he need to add to his game?
The consistent 3-ball, the ability to handle the ball and not always be in attack mode, but be ready to attack. So more poise in his ball handling under pressure. And I think if he can add that to his game, he's a long-time NBA guy.
The Bullets have been thrown a big challenge early on. They've got a fired-up Sydney Kings team coming at them. Prather for 3. That looks familiar.
Wow. Never left. It looks like he never left. And doesn't matter what that body's like, you can always shoot when you're that.
It's a big welcome back to the league for Casey Prather. Glover, catch and shoot.
And there he rebounds. Derek, you said it, that knocking down that first one is such a key for him in the confidence as well.
He played for the best part of 2 years due to knee issues. So Brisbane's expectations are low, but only for a short space of time. They'll want Casey Prather in the form that we know he's capable of. Bolden had it knocked away by McDaniel. Isaac White also into the game. Nearly travelled. Shot clock will roll to 10. White for 3. Got it.
Talk about somebody needs something in the new year. Isaac White finally knocks down a 3. Been sub 20% from 3 all year long. Finally gets one to go. Bullets cut this lead down to 4.
4 of 29 coming into today, Isaac White, for the season. Galloway with class.
Derek, I want to ask you, you see Isaac White all the time. To me, I'm not worried about that percentage because he has got that in his game. Yeah, he might be missing some, but you know he's better than that. Is that right? You see him a lot more than I do.
Well, it's just the fact that he hasn't been able to do it consistently over the full course of the season as Baines goes to the left-handed hook and 1. But back to White, you want to see if he can do it. And then you can really get some legitimacy to his game. We see that he can finish the ball at the rack, and that's a nice move. Steps back there, strokes it with ease, and Baines, of course, with the left-hand flip.
Yeah, there's the foul on Joe to bring his right arm down. Baines for the three-point play. Giving him good minutes here as we see your man, Derek, Rocco, is stepping in here. Every time this guy steps on the court, he makes a difference.
That wingspan, Jack, he takes up a lot of space. I mean, you look at Jonah Bolden next to him. Jonah Bolden is significantly shorter.
Yeah.
He's got a big, bright future. Is Bolden unsuccessful? Shot clock. He's roll down now to 10. White's already knocked down 1. Zakarski. Here's the seal over Kawat Noi, extends and scores.
Nice touch, was patient with it, didn't rush. You see a lot of young players, even over in college, Brad, you watch college basketball and everyone's so rushed. They don't understand the concept of offensive timing. Rocco playing with pros, gets that education quickly.
Let's get over to Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. I was just listening in to Brisbane in that timeout. Justin Schuller will be happy with the way that they've responded. He said they've been maybe he won't be so happy with that play. He said they've been too passive on their shots, passing up open looks. I did ask him before the game about their bigs. He said he knows that there'll be an advantage in this matchup. He said whoever's impacting the game the most of the 3 of them will keep getting the opportunity. So not surprising that Rocco Zakarski is now into this game.
Got to that left hand that time.
Well, there it is again, Derek, the patience. I mean, he's a kid, and look at the patience he's got. Fantastic.
Last play of the first quarter. And Valentine tees off and can't score. The Sydney Kings did all of the early running, but the Brisbane Bullets came back in the back end of the first quarter. It's 24-23, Sunday Hoops at Kudos Bank Arena.
We've got 2 months today for the challenge. Okay. special 13th birthday to Boston. He's up there somewhere. Where is he? He's up there, Boston. And also Karen, 60th birthday. Security here at Kudos Bank Arena.
Quarter time at Kudos Bank Arena. The Sydney Kings are leading over the Brisbane Bullets 24-23. Brad Rosen and Derek Rucker. The Kings got away fast, but the Bullets started to crack the code back into that first quarter.
That's right, and I thought it was a well-played quarter by both teams. They did a good job of looking after the basketball. Shooting efficiency was pretty good, and Brisbane showing some fight to get back in the game because, Brad, we know if Brisbane trails at halftime, because in the last 28 games they've been behind at halftime, they've lost 27 of them.
And they will know that as well. So let's hope they come out firing this quarter.
Jalen Adams, just the 2 points in the opening term. Takes it at Sikarski, and makes him earn it. Let's get over to Joe Healy.
Thanks. I was just listening into the Kings bench there at quarter time. Relatively calm and collected from Coach Moody. Just said they've got to keep putting pressure on the rim offensively. Look to draw the defender and find the open guy. And he said defensively they've got to be smarter and stick to the scout.
What are you seeing, Ruck?
Now, the Brisbane Bullets are second last in the NBL in offensive rating. So I would be a little bit disappointed if I was the head coach of the Kings, because I think 23 at 47%, Brad, is too much. However, the intent looks better, not tremendously better, but it looks better. So you're hoping that it's going to show through in reducing Brisbane's field goal percentage.
Well, in the last 6 losses the Kings have had, they have given up 100 points on 5 of those occasions, and the one they didn't was 94 to Perth. As that'll be a foul on Jordan Hunter. So you're 100% right, Derek. The proof's in it. You just got to keep teams down. They're not going to win games if they're giving up 100, and right now they're 23. They're not far off it.
And Jack, you've heard me mention pickup points defensively. In the NBA, because of the number of games you play, okay, it's acceptable to pick up, say, on your side of half court between the circles, so to speak. I just think in our league, you can afford to be up the court more frequently, Brad, especially if you choose to play a lot of people. There should be no excessive burden on the teams physically.
And that is the one thing I will shout out to Justin Tatum. What he has brought into Illawarra and the way they are now up the floor, they've got long guys with long arms in the front. It's great, and I can't believe more teams don't do it, Derek.
Rocco Sikarski, 6 points, is having an impact.
Give me that.
The make at one end, the block at the other. The teenager is giving them something. Bannon in a mismatch on Adams. Back out for Isaac White. Tough three.
I don't know if Bannon should have kicked that out. You've got Adams on you. Go to work down there.
Well, everyone was stationary, so I think he was a bit confused. Yeah. They needed a weak side cut and some space, and Isaac was kind of clogging up the strong side as well. But nevertheless, they don't lose anything, Brad. They just kind of missed an opportunity that possession.
Good call.
Sobey and Rocco Sikarski, leading scorers for Brisbane. Jalen Galloway has 8 points for the Sydney Kings. They lead by 1. Shannon Scott open and knocks it down. Brisbane in front.
And rightly so, having a timeout. That is just not playing the whole time. They just forgot the man. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 seconds. Plenty of time. You've got to be there. Quatnoy just lost his man. Had to be there on the catch. And Scott knocks down the 3 as he should.
And I'm sure Bullets head coach Justin Schuller is extremely elated to see his team 3 of 6 from the 3-point line early in this game. They shoot the ball collectively at 29% from the 3, which is teetering on league history lowness.
Wow.
Let's get over to Joe Healy, who's got a special guest.
I certainly do. I've got NBL NBL Commissioner Jeremy Loliga with me. Jeremy, great to see you up here in Sydney. What have you made of this one so far?
Oh, it's a cracker so far. I think it's probably closer than a lot of people were expecting, but we're seeing some really good basketball this afternoon. I love seeing the two Aussie Next Stars out there as well.
Well, I want to ask you about the Next Stars program. You've obviously seen it go from strength to strength. The guys out there are killing it at the moment. This entire crop this season are. Can you give us any insight into who you've got for next season?
Oh, next season. Probably still a bit too early to call for next season. Decision-making time changes for players over in the US in particular every season, but I can tell you, we've got a lot of irons and a lot of fires keeping our eye out for some real talent next year. It's a good class coming through.
As we said, the league has also gone from strength to strength. Expansion is always a talking point. Any updates for us?
Oh, look, the biggest update is there's a lot of interest from a lot of cities, and it's a matter of finding the right time and the right place.
Beautiful. Well, we look forward to hearing more from that regard. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Good on you, Joe.
There is a lot of interest, no doubt about that.
Yeah. And shout out to JoJo, not holding back with the questions, going right for the jugular. Expansion teams, Next Stars, we need some info right now. JoJo trying to win an award up in here.
She doesn't mess around. That's why we love it. Pass Adams, a little extra one for Hunter. Challenged by Zakarski.
Gets the ball, he come down. Jump ball.
He's having some sort of impact.
That is two very large men going very high.
And good offense from the Kings. And Zakarski says, I told you before, don't bring that in here because I'm getting it up out. Give me that. Oh.
Nathan Sobey hits the ground.
Tempo, 21, to push. Side. Over here.
Brad, vibe check, Kings.
You what?
Give me a vibe check on the Sydney Kings. Jesus.
You what?
I don't want to say what I thought you said there, but the energy. They're, right now, this is not the right group to be playing against this team. Look at that. Missing their man. Just cannot play the defense that they should be doing.
Josh Bannon goes down as well.
That's a delay of game warning, all right? There's no need for you to start hitting the ball, okay? Delay of game. No, he doesn't. No, he starts it by trying to hit the ball out of
Kings are a fair way off at the moment, Derek.
So delay of game, okay?
Well, Brisbane, we're down by 10 at 20-10. They're now going on a 20-6 run to shift the energy in the building, as Brad alluded to. And I love Josh Bannon. That guy is an honest player, a really good player. Ain't going to take nothing from nobody either. Don't be mistaken. Again.
Zakarski upstairs. Now Isaac White lays it up. The Bullets are on fire right now.
Just can't stop him, and this has been the Achilles heel from the Sydney Kings. When offense is not going to plan like it is at the moment, their defensive transition and defensive set is just nowhere to be seen.
They need a basket, big time. Hunter takes it at Zakarski again and comes up short. Rocco got a piece of that one, but it'll count.
Yo, this dude is an elite rim protector. Will Magnay, Rocco Zakarski, these are the guys that will protect the rim. And if we look here, Brad,
look at this defense here. Just watch Bannon. There's just no talk here. Everyone's not knowing what's going on. Bad decision there. We just missed the end of it where there's a double flex away and they get the layup. Wide open. No communication.
Josh Bannon only 2 points so far. 1 of 5 for his afternoon. And he's got the job of trying to stop Jalen Adams. That's well. Brad Rosen shakes his head.
Well, I never thought I'd say this, but Jalen Adams just can't get himself in this game. Right now, they're better when he's off at the moment.
Zakarski unsuccessful. As Baines getting set to check back in. We know that because he's standing in front of us and he's an enormous man.
And this is a good substitution. You got really good minutes there from Zakarski. He's gassed. Can't even lift his knees at the moment, and that's going to be the next level of his development. He's got great skills, but now you got to build the body up, build the stamina up.
The Kings get it back to a bucket, the difference. Zakarski inside off the glass. There's a little bit of that fatigue you were talking about, Derek. This is picked off by Bannon. End-to-end stuff in quarter number 2. White assessing his options. Takes it himself and blocked by Hunter.
Well, again, unfortunately, that's poor D by the Kings. Just great help recovery by Jordan as he comes off as well. Some subs coming in now, Bolden and Valentine. And Baines and McDaniel.
4.4 on the shot clock for the Bullets. He runs something for Sobey with a hand in the face.
That's high-level shot making with great defensive pressure. Only a few guys in this league can knock down that shot. Nathan Sobey, obviously, one of them.
35 on the last weekend against South East Melbourne. His third 30-piece of the season. And he's on the free throw line here.
Purple 43. Get me the arm.
I said early in the game, look at a replay, a little fake pin down, and Sobey turns on that left foot and elevates. Now he's got his confidence up, Brad, because early in the game, the Kings were allowing him just to do what he wants with the ball. And you get a confident guy by default like Nathan Sobey. You let him get the spaces, make shots. Now you got ultra-confident Nathan Sobey.
That's no ball.
Have you got your ticket yet?
Oh, Brad.
Sorry, I had to. You like that, Derek?
Yeah, you're smooth with that. I do not have my ticket to No Bull Tour 2024, brought to you by Coca-Cola. But, my, is it going to be just something to behold.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope there's no time limit. I hope we can just sit up in there for like 4 hours, because I will be going. Scan that QR code.
Who would have thought 20 years ago we would say those three would be coming down here and talking about that team, which to me was the greatest team ever.
And I mean, I find each of those guys so fascinating for different reasons.
I just hope Horace brings the goggles.
Yeah.
They're a fashion accessory. 7-point lead to Brisbane. Sobey tries to extend that. Everything bouncing their way at the moment. They're creating their own luck.
That's nice by Baines. Derek, I did want to ask you something. We're talking about Sobey. Sobey's got the elevation when he takes a shot, which reminds me very much of you. Now, you look at that last shot that he hit Galloway right up and in you. Do you find as a player that gives you the more arc when a guy in athleticism coming at you when you're a high-release player as yourself?
Well, Andrew Gaze and I have had this discussion. Sometimes a hand up actually improves your sight line and narrows your focus as a shooter.
Right.
So sometimes I actually enjoyed having that hand up. I often found sometimes the catch and shoot where nobody's closing you out or putting time pressure on your shot, I found those a little bit more difficult.
You didn't seem to have problems rising up over me and shooting, I must admit.
Nice take from Jalen Adams. There's Casey Prather back into the game as well. 8 points for Adams. Coming off a very quiet night against Melbourne on Thursday. He had 8 in that game. It was minus 29. Prather up top. That doesn't drop. Baines tries to tip it in. He can't score. Alex Tui takes care of it.
That was an outstanding possession by the Brisbane Bullets.
Valentine, look at that pass. Cross court for Bolden. They deserve more.
And the Kings 0 of 7 from the three-point line. Brisbane doing a fairly good job defensively here in this second quarter.
And the numbers stack up when Sydney aren't shooting the three ball well. They're not winning games as Prather draws a foul on Valentine.
And I know this might sound somewhat crazy, but Prather's presence has given them a bit of calmness and a serenity, but yet still aggressive.
Have a look at the way, look at this step back. That's just beautiful by Casey Prather. Like what you were saying there, look at this closeout by Casey Prather. Everyone in the league goes out hard against Galloway. That enabled then Galloway then to go to the basket, but that stopped them doing this time. He didn't want to take the three. It was a kick, and then they were able to get the defensive stop. That's what Casey Prather brings this team. It's energy, but more than anything, it's smarts.
And Baines has had a really good quarter, too. He's done a good job with his decision-making on his shoulder and, on his elbow and high post catches and reading the defense. Very focused today. And with this Brisbane team continues to perform like this, we're in for a really good game here.
We've only seen Tyler Harrison for 3.5 minutes in this game so far. It's the impact of Zakarski and then Baines. McDaniel going to force his way in on Valentine. Baseline. 11-point lead to the visitors.
Great seal by Baines. Did you see that? Just held his body, allowed Norton to get straight to the hoop, and there he is, Norton doing his great things on the defensive end.
McDaniel to Prather on the move. He misses the layup. He smiles about it as well. He has been out of the game for 2 years. Short on the little push. Adams eventually gets it to drop.
Head coach Justin Schuller, not angry at Prather, but one of those situations like, oh, I wish we could have gotten that one.
Well, that's 9 points instead of 13 now. Big 4-point turnaround, that one.
He is at the elbow. Good hands from Bolden. Just checking whether...
Wiping the ball down, I can't see if it touches the leg after.
I don't have a view on the play, so I can go and play, huh?
Did it come off the knee, Brad?
Thank you.
It's just what they were making sure of.
It's always interesting, isn't it? Because if Bolden's slapping down, the ball's going away from where it ended. So the question is, how does it get there? Oh, no. Good call.
And Josh Bannon comes back in the game for Casey Prather. Good minutes from Prather and a good substitution by Schuller. Now the Bullets got this crew out there. They need to really build this lead.
Baines shoots an air ball. Justin Schuller throws his hands up in the air and questions the shot selection. Foul on Norton. That'll be his first.
Wide 8, blocking foul.
2 minutes 18 before half-time, Derek. They've done a lot of good work in this second quarter, Brisbane. They'd hate to let Sydney back into this quarter.
Well, this is the frustrating thing about Sydney, because we know they could very well reel off a 13-2 run right now and take control of this game going into the break. But Brad, going into these final 2 minutes, I'd be really conservative offensively if I were Brisbane. Just walk that thing up. You know Sydney can't stop you in the half court, so there's no need to rush.
Shades of what happened last time the two teams met. There's 2 more for Adams. Round 7 in that game. 104-95, Sydney won. A game that Brisbane had their chances in.
King zone.
Which I know you're a big fan of. Sobey on the move with the left hand.
Derek, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, they went to zone, which I'm not a big fan of, but they get to the ball, to the high post, take their time, get a good shot.
Great look for Denzel Valentine. He can't score. A minute and a half remaining before the long break.
Smart basketball.
So's that. Baines had the seal, but was in there for too long.
Stop. Do not like that call or agree with it. This isn't 1986. We're not counting that 3 like that. Ball was on its way in the Baines. I thought that was good offense.
And I thought there was a foul by Bolden just before that with a little hold too, so that was very unlucky for Brisbane.
Snooze timeout. 45-36 at Kudos Bank Arena. Another big crowd for Sunday hoops. We're going to jump into the Sydney Kings timeout in just a moment.
Well, let's see if they change up something on the defensive end to create that, like you said, Derek, that 13-2, 10-2-4 run. Let's see what they talk about.
You guys doing a good job. Don't worry. We're missing some wide open looks. Everybody, all right? You miss a look, you miss a look, you miss a look, the shots will fall. All right, it's got to be on the defensive end. Just be physical early on. No rejects by Sobey, all right? Hey, next time down, you're going to be in it. You're going to be here on Zell's right side. Jordy, Jonah, and then Tui over here. Snap wiper, snap wiper. Start low, Wipe her up out of this. I either have layup or I have Jonah in the corner. Jonah, you may look to burn cut as well, all right? Snap wiper. And we're in double fist. Stay in double fist.
Well, it's very interesting listening in on that huddle. He felt, Coach Abdel Fattah felt like they were getting good looks, and I agree. Maybe not as good as he said, but what he's neglecting to mention is that Brisbane just missed an and one possibility because of the 3-second call and the Prather missed layup. So, you know, while it's a 9-point lead and he might feel it should be closer, a case could be made. This thing could be out to 13, 14, 15.
Great point.
Denzel Valentine hasn't scored. Only 2 field goal attempts in the first half too. Top for Hunter. For 3. I think he's 4th of the season.
Well, I thought to myself, this is not a great offensive set coming out of a timeout, but Jordan Hunter, to his credit, knocks down the 3.
3 of 17 from outside coming into today.
And the Kings are now 1 for 9 from 3.
23, purple. Hit.
We look at the Harvey Norman replay. They got inside to Valentine, the mismatch. Hunter's stroke isn't bad. I wouldn't mind seeing him shoot more of them. We saw in the championship series last year, I believe it was in game 3, knocked down some 3 balls. It would give them a different dimension offensively if he's able to do that. Kings got this lead down to 6. A silly foul on Bannon, though, to let him off the hook.
And that's Jonah's 3rd, so he gets subbed out. Jalen Adams back in. These are the times, Derek, 54 seconds, you know, you're out by 7, potentially 8 here with a free throw. Throw that presser.
Yeah, trick them up right here.
Absolutely. Take the ball away. Throw something out there that they're just not ready.
Go unorthodox.
Yep.
I agree. That's an outstanding tactic, and they have moved up the floor. Token.
Bannon takes care of both. The Bullets have been outstanding in this second quarter. Adams denied by Baines. It's their 4th block of this first half as Sobey walks into a transition 3.
Well done to Baines. Great block, because that's really what it was as he was throwing it up.
What's going on down here?
Wow.
You're trying to light the game, mate.
So Tui had the ball, and he looked like he threw it to the referee, not sure why, and the referee just counted out 5. So that was a 5-second delay.
He thought Red Food wanted to end it.
You look good with hair like Red Food.
Jack, I'd look good with any hair.
Me too.
That's not fair, Derek. I don't think you would.
There's that hair. Oh. It's a lot of hair. Clock down to 5 for Bannon. Needs to get to his left hand. Adds 2 more.
This is a coaching win right now. Yep. Justin Schuler has his team well prepared. They know where they want to attack the Kings, and they've done it really well. Sobey's been patient, waiting for his moments, and boom, the Bullets are up by 13.
Great. Exactly what it is. And how about that foul from Bannon? He knows exactly the game time situation. They're not in foul trouble, so they're not going to go to free throws as McDaniel comes in now for the defensive pressure. But I love the fact that Bannon fouled in them to slow the Kings down.
Coach Abdel Fattah wasn't happy with one of the calls. Not sure that's his biggest issue right now, is it?
Case could be made for it is not, Jack.
4.9. Time for Jalen Adams, who dribbled straight into Sobey. Bruce picks up the loose ball. Brisbane take a really commanding lead into halftime, 52-39.
If you could see my face, you'd see a look of shock. I'm not surprised, though, given the nature of the NBL. But for Brisbane to come out here and have a 13-point lead and dominate this first half is totally shocking.
Let's get over to Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. I've got Nathan Sobey with me, who's just high-fiving all his teammates as they walk through. Nate, a little bit of a slow start half. You guys made some adjustments and are taking a 13-point lead into the half. Talk me through the first 20.
Yeah, I mean, the first start of that quarter, our first quarter wasn't great for us, but I think that second unit that came in really turned it on for us and got us going and on the defensive end of the floor, which picked our offense up as well.
You mentioned that second unit. Rocco Zakarski's also had a really positive impact. Talk me through that. Describe what he does for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, he's an elite shot blocker. His presence around the rim is second to none, so we just got to keep trusting that he'll make the right decisions down there, and yeah, he's doing a great job for us.
We'll keep it going. Good luck in the second.
Cheers.
It's the Bullets who take a really strong lead into halftime, 52-39, getting the job done over the Sydney Kings at Kudos Bank Arena. We've got the halftime show coming up next.
The better we're going to perform. So we need you to make some noise for Dauntless Movement Crew. Ladies and gentlemen, are you enjoying the show? That's what we want to hear. Now it's time for me to officially introduce the members of the squad. Now first up, she specializes in acrobatics, gymnastics, and contortion. Coming in at the age of 19, give it up for Hoffany.
The lob for Rocco! Stuffs it with the one hand. Inside, Zakarski blocks the shot.
Here's Rocco rocking the rim.
I think the sky's the limit for the kid. He's a great personality, really humble.
You forget how young he is.
He's the best in Australia at a number of things already on the basketball court, so it's fun to play with a guy like that.
The thing that I love with Rocco is he needs a challenge, but when he gets challenged, he rises to that and goes above it. I know he's going to help us win some games. He changes the game at the defensive end, and that's where he's going to demand minutes off me. We want it to be a slow burn for him. We want to bring him at his own pace, but I love how he's challenging me already.
You know, I couldn't have done what he's doing at his age, so I just keep telling him, you're already 10 steps ahead of where I ever was.
He doesn't care how like the ceiling and all that gets talked about on him, and we know it and we push him to those limits every day, but just on the other side of it, just him being a kid is great for our group.
Everything that's in front of him is going to be quite an exciting journey, and I'm glad he's chosen the Bullets to be part of that.
Oh, beautiful feed from Rocco. Finds Mitch Norton cutting to the hoop.
Rocco dropping dimes. Next time, Rocco Zakarski check in, and on cue, a dunk over Alex Saar. There he is. A smile as well. Rocco Zakarski's first points in the NBL.
Yes, welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL. It's the Brisbane Bullets leading the Sydney Kings here at Kudos Bank Arena by 13 points at halftime. Joe Healy and Derek Rucker alongside you. Derek, we've just been talking about Rocco Zakarski there. He has had a really positive impact on this game so far.
He certainly has, and I've been singing his praises all year long. But what he surprised me with thus far in this game is his offensive control and his ability to make shots. We know he's an elite rim protector at the age of 17 already. Look at the fits he gave Jordy Hunter in the first half. He changes shots. He makes players do things that they don't want to do around the basket. It affects the opponent's offensive mindset significantly. Outstanding first half from Rocco. 6 points, 3 block shots.
And Nathan Sobey mentioned that as well, that he's an elite rim protector. What about the impact that the captain has had? He's been excellent for them too.
It was evident early in the game, Joe, that he was getting the ball exactly where he wanted to, which meant the Kings were in a lot of trouble because that elevates a guy like Nathan Sobey's confidence. And this Blackmore shot chart tells it all. High quality looks, only 7 looks, 4 buckets, 16 points on high level of efficiency. And then, Joe, the thing he hasn't been doing this season is knocking down the 3 ball. He goes 2 for 4 in that first half.
And Brisbane certainly need it from that point of view as well. What about for the Sydney Kings? Jalen Galloway feels like he's brought a bit of energy to them this one.
Yeah, I thought he came out with a lot of pop. You know, he's trying to provide that defensive intensity, that attack on the rim. He was really good, but he kind of got swallowed up in Brisbane's success in the second quarter. I look for him to try and have even more of an impact in this second half as the Kings try and narrow into this lead. And Joe, they got to come out desperate right out of this locker room and get ready to play some basketball.
So a 13-point deficit at halftime. Has this surprised you so far, given, I guess, their positioning on the ladder and the Kings being the back-to-back champions?
Well, it surprised me in the fact that Brisbane have been so good offensively. I said in the opener that they're not one of the better teams in the competition offensively. In fact, they're 9th out of 10 teams. For them to come in here and give 52 points at the half is not a good sign for the Kings. However, we know how talented the Kings are, how athletic they are. They can go on a run over the course of 3 minutes and get themselves right back in this game.
The last time they played, Brisbane were leading at halftime as well. The Kings then brought it back, so they'll have the confidence from that one. What do Brisbane need to do to hold off here?
Well, I think if they continue to run their offense, they've been really good with their execution. Defend the basket, make the Kings shoot from the perimeter. Right now, the Kings are 1 for 10 from the 3. They're obviously not feeling it. They weren't feeling it the other night against Melbourne United. Maybe it's a confidence thing, so I'd be pressing that matter. And then again, keep pumping the ball inside offensively to Baines and Zakarski. They were doing a good job of exploiting mismatches and opening up opportunities for the perimeter players.
Brisbane's bigs have certainly had a positive impact on this one. It's been great seeing Casey Prather out there as well as he tries to find his feet this NBL season. The second half is coming up next. Still plenty more to play out. We'll see you in a minute.
Kings fans, we have some big news for you. Hoops Capital is on a mission to take grassroots basketball to new heights in Sydney, and we're doing just that. We're excited to announce the launch of the Sydney Kings and Flames Youth League. It's open to kids ages 8 to 18. All skill levels are welcome. Here's how it's going to work. Register as a team, or you can sign up as an individual, and we'll allocate a team to you. You'll join a 10-week competition in your age division with expert coaches and professional referees. All training and competition games take place where the Kings and Flames train at Hoops Capital's premium basketball facility in Moore Park. Registrations are open now. The Sydney Kings and Flames Youth League. It's your ticket to a truly rewarding basketball experience. hoopcapital.com.au to secure your spot in 2024. And Kings fans, don't miss out on the chance to win a VIP courtside experience thanks to Harvey Norman. Scan the QR code for your chance to win courtside tickets. Harvey Norman Tech and behind the scenes with the Kings and Flames. Do it now. Scan that QR code.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've got Sydney Kings coming at Portsmouth here, Paul. Next Sunday, exciting. I'm actually genuinely excited for this match. Tell us about it.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, next Sunday, the 14th of January, is a really important event for our club. Breast cancer affects so many people in our community, not only the people that are impacted by it directly, but our families, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, and also our colleagues. In this instance, Tiana Magagakia is suffering breast cancer. She's part of our coaching program with Sydney Flames. We're very proud that next week we're going to be hosting a doubleheader, the first Pink Hoops game with the McGrath Foundation. It's an important cause. We encourage you all to be here early for the Flames game, stay for the Kings game, give generously, and demonstrate your support for Tiana, who's such an important part of our organisation and our family.
It's halftime Sunday Hoops. It is the Brisbane Bullets who lead the Sydney Kings 52-39. Nathan Sobey has been outstanding in the first half, has 16 points and has led the way for the Brisbane Bullets. Jalen Adams has 12. But the big story here is the Sydney Kings, and they have got some serious work to do. Let's find out what they're thinking. Brad Rosens with their assistant coach, Daniel Kickett.
Welcome back to the Kudos Bank Arena. The Sydney Kings, well, they're down by 13. I've got their assistant coach, Daniel Kickett. Kicks 52 points, too much and a half.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we've got to make a few adjustments there, but we started out well, but they've made some good adjustments themselves, and we're hoping the second half's a little bit better.
What are those adjustments going to be?
Yeah, look, we're going to do a focus on keeping them off the boards. The second chance points hurt us, and we're going to do a better job of finishing around the rim and exposing how they're covering us defensively, and yeah, look to get our guys involved a little bit more.
Good luck for the second half.
Thanks, mate.
Derek Rucker.
Well, I agree with him, and the second chance points were a problem, but the Brisbane bench really went off. They scored 23 points in that first half. They're best in the league. They average 35 a game, so they're well ahead of that. But I just think the Kings, somebody needs to light a fire in there. They got to come out here as a group. I know I've said it before, and I'm starting to repeat myself, but it still holds to be true that they've got to come together as a collective and decide right here, we get it done.
Who is that?
I think it's got to be Jalen Adams. He's your best player. And I'd also look to Sean Bruce and Angus Glover because they've been around. They're the common fiber of these championship teams.
Earlier today, it was the Perth Wildcats who won in New Zealand over the Breakers 108-102. Bryce Cotton is strengthening his claims to win another MVP.
Well, in my opinion, he is the leader far and away. Chris Golding's had an outstanding season, but it's not at the level of Bryce Cotton. And he's doing it everywhere. At RAC, in John Cain, at the Cairns Convention Center, at Spark Arena. It doesn't matter where, he's getting it done, Brad.
No, agreed. Is right now it's him and, I don't want to say daylight because that's disrespectful, but yeah, he's right there.
Pretty close.
Yep.
Galloway tries to start the third quarter with aggression. It's helped him by Kawat Noy.
They needed that ugly tip-in from Noy just to give them something. Like
you said that so precisely.
We'll get back to Sydney in a moment. Switch-off periods that they have. The captain, Sean Bruce, another scored in the first half. His pass was picked off. McDaniel had to wait for it to arrive eventually. Brisbane win back control, and Sobey takes it hard at Hunter.
Brad, are we going to have a look at that one?
Okay.
Look, from first look, I'm thinking it was a good hard foul, but can't tell if the arm comes down here. But sloppy turnover. Second play of the half. Yeah, that's it.
They're discussing, but I don't think there was anything unsportsmanlike there. However, they let this guy, Nathan Sobey, get to the line early in the second half. He's already been there 6 times. He's one of the best free throw shooters, if not the best of qualified players. He's now 7 for 7. And looking right down the barrel of a 30-piece again, Brad.
Yeah, he's shooting at 89% from the free throw line this season. Was 105 of 117 coming into today.
Well, it's their Achilles heel, isn't it? You know, you look at the way the Kings had. Chris Golding had 35, whatever it was, in that round 8 game. Guards are putting on numbers on them that they just can't control. And here they go again with Sobey.
Adams. Sam McDaniel all up and in. It's great deep from Brisbane. Bruce with 1 on the clock. Tipped in by Hunter.
Well, it's good offense, and that was good for sure, Bruce, not to throw it up and look for the lob. Put it up. If it misses, you got your big man there over the rim to finish.
Stop. You're not winning this game just making tip-ins the whole second half. You need some legitimate buckets.
Bannon at the other end. This is the other thing. They can't stop Brisbane from scoring.
I was just going to say it is not about the offensive end, Derek. This team leaks points.
They concede 93 a game, 93 and a half, in fact.
Well, that's going to be exceeded today.
Glad you spoke about it in the first half. When they concede big numbers, they lose. Kawatnoy steps out for 3.
Kawatnoy has a knack for understanding when things are getting dicey and finding a way to have an impact.
The Bullets 8 and 11 on the season. Shannon Scott got rid of Noy, and McDaniel steps in with confidence.
Great move by Shannon Scott. Yes, he fell over, but just being able to see this Harvey Norman replay. Look at this, just nice and easy. There's Quatnoy's 3, and like you said, Derek, they need that. But look at this, just nice little screen there, slips over. He could have shot that, but no, he gave it up for a better shot, and that was a good pass.
You know what they say, Brad? Big tree fall hard.
Thank you, Confucius.
I must admit, I don't think I've ever heard that, but okay. Maybe in a store, but...
Call me Black Fuchsius.
Such a wise man. Hunter misses a bunny. There's one team playing winning basketball at the moment, and the other team's Sydney. Bannon swings to Scott. Everything happening for the Bullets.
This team is just not the right one to get stops. I don't know what changes they need to make. I'd like to see Glover out there more. I think he can just give him that lift to be able to push Sobey. Give him a bit of physicality and let him know we're here.
Adams trying to take the responsibility on himself. He's 5 of 10 for the game. Scott feeds Harrison. The big man runs the floor and gets rewarded. It's an 18-point lead.
I'm in shock, Brad. I thought for sure after what we witnessed in the second half against Melbourne United that this Kings team would come out breathing fire. Instead, it's been all about the Bullets, and Shannon Scott with a resurgence in this second half knocks down a 3. Diamond people up. Bannon having a great contribution, and as a result, the Kings find themselves in this snooze timeout down 18.
Well, they deserve to be down this much. They've got no energy about them. Look at the coach. He's right into the team. He's out-coached him today. No question with the substitutions he's made. I like the bigs that he's bringing in. Sobey, 57% from the field. Everyone playing their role. And the Kings, they don't look like they've got out of first gear except for that first few minutes when it was 20-10.
They have got some significant problems right now in this snooze timeout. thought this was very interesting, Derek and Brad, talking about the younger guys. This is Brian Gorshin coaching the national team and wanting to have a look at Jalen Galloway, Alex Tui, Rocco Zakarski, and see what they can do, not only at the NBL level, but to see it at an international level as well.
Well, if Brian Gorshin says it, you better listen to it.
Yep.
And there's no doubt when he looks at a guy like Jalen Galloway, he sees tremendous potential, despite what's going on here in the NBL, because Brian is evaluating on a Boomers level and a FIBA level and possibly an NBA level. So, you know, you look at guys like Galloway and Zakarski, it's just very exciting for Basketball Australia.
With the way Brian and all of the Boomers talk about bringing on that next team, can you leave Rocco out of Paris? Ooh.
That is an interesting one. Oh, often Derek Rucker's speechless. Jonah Bolden, nice take. Speaking of Olympics.
Yeah. But I realise there's you know, Duop and then you're going to... I understand that, but look what they did to Dyson Daniels, and then the time before that, the players that then brought on, Josh Green, sat there for for the World's Olympics, and then now look at it. I don't know, I love the kid. I just can't see.
There's just so many guys now that are capable of making that team, and their statuses are a little bit uncertain. You know, we've got Kay, we've got Cooks over in Japan. Guys are playing all around the world. It's really hard to get a grasp of how they're performing. But when it all comes together, Brian Gorshin is going to have a tremendous pool of talent and some really tremendous and difficult decisions to make.
That's what we like to see. Scott swings to Prater for three.
If he can knock that down consistently for them, running into this back end of the season, what a pickup, Derek.
As hard as Sydney had to work to score, it's easy for Brisbane at the other end. Bolden with the shot clock at 5. And Adams blocked by Harrison. And Tui cleans up the mess.
Nearly got the second one, Harrison, but good follow by Tui, doing what he should do, crashing the glass.
It's now 6 blocks in the game for the Brisbane Bullets. They've got a double-figure lead that they engineered off the back of an outstanding second quarter. They outscored the Sydney Kings 27-15. The Kings come up short through Bolden. Sorry, what a pass for Harrison. Justin Schuller right in front of us, Derek, the coach of the Brisbane Bullets. He's loving what he's seeing from his men.
You know, he's done a really good job this season. When you evaluate it from the big picture, sure, he's had some decisions that didn't quite go to plan and that he was criticized for, but when you look at where this team is now, they're significantly better than they were last year. They've got depth. They've got belief in themselves as a unit. Now, where do they go from here to close out this season? Are they a play-in team, Brad? But today is a vital one. They must get this one.
Well, today's even more vital that New Zealand lost. That to me, I don't want to say it's a shock because Perth are a very good team, but I really thought New Zealand would get that done at home. That is a massive win for Perth, but more than anything, I think it's a very bad loss for New Zealand.
Well, I said in the open, Jack, that this was a chance for the Kings to create a little bit of a buffer between themselves and fifth on the ladder, and to let this opportunity slip as they currently are,
Derek,
really sting.
That is 16 points that Brisbane have already scored this quarter. We're not even close to halfway through. They gave up 35 the other night to Melbourne. You just can't be giving that up.
Bruce no good. Conversely for Brisbane, if they win, they could be 6th by the end of this game.
And with 2 big home games coming up against Tasmania and Illawarra Wednesday and Sunday.
That Illawarra game, wow.
Are you flying up for that one, Brad?
No, I'm Brad Rosen. I just Sydney. That's it, mate. I'm not Derek Rucker.
Why?
Maybe I can speak to somebody for you.
I'm sure you could.
Were you going to offer him somewhere to stay? Were you? Is that where that was going?
No, I have some good rates for him though.
You're always trying to make cash.
Derek will hook me up. Just pay me, Brad. I'll pay it off.
Norton coming back into the game. He's deep from Glover. And then And Isaac White gave away the foul.
Isaac White picks up that foul.
And the trap here for Brisbane is when things are coming relatively easily and successfully on the offensive end, there's a tendency to say, like, okay, we can start to try some stuff.
Yep.
And that's where you've got to stick to what was working and have extreme discipline and understand there will be plays where you get that chance, but by and large, stay with what's been working.
Tui, nice take on Sobey.
But that's the thing, Derek, and I completely agree with you. That's where I think Justin Schuller is so good. He is a good in-game coach. He reads the game well, and he makes substitutions for the game, not just to say, I need to give this guy minutes.
So, Brad, we understand that DJ Hogue has a shoulder injury. Timetable unknown at the moment. Without Hogue, do you think this team is a playoff team? Would you expect this type of drop-off due to DJ's absence when early in the year they were able to play fine without him?
Well, I'm going to ask you this. Has it really dropped off any more than when he was playing? Defensively, they're not that much better than they were. So, yes, he's a loss on the offensive end. As Mitch Norton misses that, but it's not the offensive end that's been the issue.
It's Tui. On Sobey! Alex Tui flies! What about that from the youngster? Kings fans not happy with the call. Let's take a look at this.
Got it in his right hand, hit him with an in and out jab. Sobey, I gotcha. Wow, Brad.
Look at that in-out. Bang! Oh.
That is nice. Joe Healy.
Yeah, massive play there from the next star, Alex Tui, and the fans absolutely loved it. I was going to say, the crowd have been pretty quiet compared to normal. I usually can't hear myself thinking here, but Brisbane have them a little bit stunned at the moment. I think they're feeling this scoreline just as much as the Kings are.
Good call by Joe.
This is getting away from Sydney very, very quickly. 16-point lead. 3 minutes and 50 remaining in the third term. That's a nice pass. Bolden again finds a cutter. This time it's Bruce.
All right, Derek, put your coach's hat on. When do you go Rocco? He made such a difference in that first half. When do you go back?
I'm probably going to give Baines another couple of possessions. But the thing is, right now, the Kings are on 4 team fouls, so the Bullets should really be attacking. This was all set in the first 3 possessions of the game when I said they're letting Sobey get to his spots. Now he believes he's the league MVP.
Yep.
And he's playing like it. I'm not saying he's the league MVP. He's playing like the league MVP right now. As he has 21 points, 8 of 8 from the free throw line, 3 of 5 from the 3. Tough shot over Valentine.
Wow, Derek just called in the MVP. I thought it was Bryce Cotton, Jack, but that's what Derek's saying. That's going to get out.
That'll be on Twitter. Valentine out of control. It's not called Twitter anymore, is it? I've got to get up with the times.
X, as they say.
X. Just doesn't roll off the tongue the same.
Talking about the defensive troubles of the Kings guards and what opponent guards are able to do against them, you forgot about the collective effort from Matthew Dellavedova, Ian Clark, and Shea Illy. I thought that was Delly's best game in the NBL.
Yep.
I thought he was outstanding in that game. Illy was a marvel, and, you know, it's just another... Oh, boy. The Kings better hope they don't count that one on some technicality.
So they're getting a chat about this.
Released.
Well, it's not on. It's a shooting. I don't have him shooting the ball at the time. I have the illegal contact when he's still catching the ball.
No basket.
No, we can't. No, we can't. I can't. I have it not shooting.
I love that. Great refereeing.
No
They
basket.
talk about it. They,
22.
you can see, and I agree with the call. That should not be counted, but I love that. They just talk. Leave it with me. I'll come back to you. Let me sort it out. Great refereeing.
Well, they're going to go to the line to shoot 2 anyway. because the Kings have now committed their 15th foul.
And Baines will be shooting free throws. And this is another thing you need to buy tickets for, Derek. The Harlem Globetrotters Tour 2024. Australia and New Zealand. Such an incredible show.
Take my kids every year. Whenever they're out here, it's fantastic.
I'm definitely taking my kids this year.
Yeah, they love it.
Jump online, or you can scan the QR code, and away you go.
Baines, he gave a little shush there. Did you see that, Derek? Just letting the Sydney crowd know, not in this house.
In case you haven't followed his career closely, Brad, is something that he's not afraid to do. Stir up the home crowds.
Bannon. Nice job to keep Tui off the glass. Baines gave a push that was right in front of the official. He's never getting away with that one, unfortunately.
Good look ahead from Nathan Sobey. Yeah. Baines, all you needed to do was put your hip into the Kings defender, and that ball would have arrived safely. It's hard to do, though. It's hard to have that discipline and that willpower, Brad, to avoid that push. It's so easy to do.
Oh, and as a guard, you're going to throw yourself to the ground as best as you can.
The corner. Good look for Glover. They need more of that.
Look, I agree with you. It's just one-out stuff at the moment. The play before, Valentine misses the shot. They get a rebound. That one, great knockdown, but you're living, and here comes Rocco now. And Isaac White misses that.
Angus Glover, get back to that in a moment. Valentine, wide open. Back-to-back threes for the Sydney Kings.
Lifts the crowd. That's exactly what the Sydney Kings are looking for. Got a couple of stops, and away they go. And Valentine knocks down the three.
Been relatively quiet since that big output. And Glover gets the party started with a corner three. We know he loves that side of the floor. Valentine gets space to Bullets. Fundamental defensive error in transition. You gotta stop the ball. Otherwise, Valentine will make you pay the price.
Very interesting little signal from Angus Glover. We'll get back to that in a moment. Let's jump into the Brisbane timeout. Take a listen to Justin Schuller.
You come back in, take Adams right now. They stay in zone, stay with runner, single runner now. Let Whitey be the guy, really look at setting that one in, right? All right, what I want is the flash, and then we play from there, all right? Let that thing evolve. Runner stops to finish this thing out. Runner stops to finish it out, and we're good. Man to man, finish on shape.
Everybody doing work for you.
First year as coach, Justin Schuller. As you mentioned, Derek, he's got this team rowing the boat in the same direction again and standing for something.
Well, I think that was the most important part about this season. Could you establish an identity for this team? And they've had some disruptions, but I think we're starting to see how he hoped this team would present a little bit earlier this season. But look, if they finish strong, the play-in is well within their reach.
So out of the timeout, Brad, Angus Glover, who knocked down the three, is now off the court.
I'm a bit speechless.
Bannon trying to go to work on Valentine. And that little arms in the air gesture and the signal, I feel like that was to the Kings ownership group who were sitting baseline saying, I want more court time. Boulder tries to take it inside.
Well, if you look at Glover's numbers today, he's played 10 minutes, got 3 points, probably felt like he was just getting into the rhythm. He's a -6. And sometimes these decisions are really hard to make, but I just like the enthusiasm and the toughness that he's going to bring when it's really needed. And, you know, you only had another minute or so to go in this quarter. Why not ride it out?
Well, they got back into the game. I mean, I know there's still only, well, 12 now, 11 down, but I don't know, just that old school, Derek. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let them roll a little bit.
They're working for you. Are you working for them, Sydney?
From 18 down, it's now 10 the difference. As we tick down to a minute remaining in the third quarter. The Kings are starting to claw their way back. Isaac White.
Well, he's had 3 open looks. He knocked down 2. 1 wasn't counted, but he's a flat-out shooter.
Just gives them a little bit of breathing space, but Valentine scores. They're trading buckets.
Sponsored by Acor, Deep right back at it.
Things are hotting up in the back end of this third term. Bannon steps out. His 3-ball goes.
There are a lot of good looks on offer for the Brisbane Bullets if they'll just get into their structure and move the ball. Wow. That's not a good shot.
No.
I know they wanted a 2 for 1, Brad, but don't love it.
No, agreed.
5-second difference between the game and shot clock. White's the man with a hot hand. Not that time, though. 5 seconds for the Kings. Adams all the way in. Misses the layup. They are having that sort of game, the Sydney Kings. It's the Bullets who lead 80-67. 3/4 time at Kudos Bank Arena in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Three-quarter time at Kudos Bank Arena. It is the Brisbane Bullets who still lead the way over the Sydney Kings, 80-67. Derek Rucker, Brad Rose, and every time that Sydney got close, Brisbane were just able to push them back.
Well, Brisbane have done a great job of looking after the ball. They only have 4 turnovers in this entire game, and they can continue along that pace and continue to get good looks against this Kings zone or man-to-man. The Kings have a real uphill battle here.
Isaac White out there to start the 4th quarter. Zakarski out there as well. Nice take from White.
Deceptively good at getting to the rack and finishing. Now he's got his confidence up. He's hit some threes. This is probably what Bullets fans expected when he was signed this offseason.
Valentine gets to a nice spot. He's up to 8 points. A big crowd in the house at Kudos Bank Arena. The top decks have been open. Unfortunately for Kings fans, just haven't had much to make any sort of noise about, really. After the first quarter, McDaniel,
he's solid.
More.
So solid. That is a part of his game. He's so improved.
Funny how you can just tackle somebody when the ball's on the ground. When the ball's on the ground, all bets are off. Just go crazy. That's a foul on Sobey. Watch this. Ball's on the ground. Let me just go. Come on, man.
Well, you'll be happy to know they just called it.
Good.
Are you a bit cranky today? He is. Everything all good?
Yeah, for the most part. Oh, boy.
Valentine didn't find Hunter inside. He's been in there for a little while. And reaching in, it'll be a foul on the Kings.
No basket.
What needs to change, Brad?
45, hit the arm.
Apart from everything, I want to see him get up the floor. I'm a broken record. Just get up the floor, get some stops. Otherwise, you're just going to trade with this team. They're very well executed on the offensive end. They're getting great looks, whatever they do. White, Sobey, Bannon, they're all hitting baskets. Rocco's doing a great job. McDaniel, they can get scores anywhere.
White again being ultra aggressive. Isaac White.
Well, Derek, it's like you said, he makes that from the 10 possessions before with the wide open looks. He's feeling it.
Adams sets it up for Hunter.
And that's more of the line of attack you have to have against Rocco. You have to have that big getting to the rim where you can throw it up to him, because making the shot is far more difficult.
Sobey unsuccessful and lands hard on his ankle as well. He stays down in back play. Valentine from the corner. Kawat Noi there. Puts it back in.
I've got him jumping, trying to block the ball. Nathan. 111, hit on the arm. 1.
Now there's some energy in the building.
Sobey was disappointed. There was a no call there. That was a foul. Contact while he's in the air.
Ooh, came down on that right leg as well.
Then a tough shot and a great tip in there from Noi, who continues just to find ways to get some buckets, keep the Kings slightly in touch, Brad.
Well, they are, and this is now, Sobey's a bit frustrated, and the referee just said, calm down, and gave him a warning. This is why I know you've been talking about him a lot throughout the season, and this is where now the growth comes in. He's an Olympian, righto? That didn't come off. Now play that game and bring us home here with 8 minutes to go.
86-74. Sunday Hoops at Kudos Bank Arena. We cap off round 14. Has been a fascinating round of results, this one. Daniel comes up short. 11 of 20 from outside today. The Bullets, the Kings, at just 5 for 17. Hunter rolls to the basket.
Best screen and roller in the league, absolutely no doubt. He goes so hard and loves jumping off his right foot with the left hand.
And finally got some payback against Rocco. Gave him fits in the first half.
And that
jump ball, I have
off purple this way. Will be the Sydney ball.
We've just got eyes.
I think they're going to give it to Brisbane. Chris Reed and Mitch Hare talking it over.
It's the Harvey Norman replay. Bang.
Hey, short,
Have that.
Wow. Wanted the foul, too.
Mitch. Still got white ball, right? I'll get it.
You want to take it? Yep.
Let's go, white ball.
The correction, it is a Brisbane ball.
Well, they're challenging it. Coach's challenge.
7:06 remaining. A coach's challenge.
Do you challenge that, Derek, at this stage? Yeah, I'm with you.
It's a risky one, Jack. Yeah. I just don't know if it's worth it. There's 14 on the shot clock. You know, it did look like also that it should be Brisbane's ball, so I'm not sure how much communication you think he's had with his assistant coaches, but this is a tight one.
It's crunch time. This is where we show Brisbane. This is our house, home court advantage.
I think that's Brisbane ball.
Yeah, I think just Adams' right arm there comes over the top, and I think the last touch is from his fingers there.
And even still, unless there's an angle coming from left of screen, it's going to be really hard to determine if it hit McDaniel's arm after Adams pushed it. I would not have challenged it.
No. And I don't think there's enough there to overturn it.
Replay center taking a very, very long look at this one. Trying to see if there's any clear and definitive evidence to overturn the original call.
The dismount and landing from Wayne McDaniel.
Coach's challenge is successful. The call on the floor will be overturned. We have Sydney ball.
We're both wrong, Brad.
Wow.
I didn't see it.
No.
Did you say you were wrong?
Yes, we were. I was wrong. Brad Rosen was wrong. And I still think we're right.
Why doesn't that shock me?
I mean, I guess they ruled that it came off of Sam McDaniel's forearm.
Twelve points for Jalen Adams. They're going to need him down the stretch. Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. The Kings are feeling like they have a bit of momentum at the moment. As you mentioned, Jack, the energy is up, and I can tell you that Brisbane are feeling the pressure. Justin Schuller there just saying, take a breath. Jordy Hunter with the 3-ball, that's not going to help. He said, take a breath. Justin reiterating that this is what playoff basketball feels like for Brisbane. They're going to see this out.
They've scored the last 10 now, the Kings. That's a 7-point game. Harrison's pass, intercepted. Tui to the other end. No good. And he grabbed it when he was out of play. But Brisbane dodge a bullet.
Big time, Jack. They got off the hook right there. And Coach Justin Schuller had signaled for a timeout.
He just can't.
He canceled it based on what happened right there. Smart play. Brisbane need a big-time possession right here.
They have had their issues this year, Brisbane, closing out games. There have been demons that have come back time and time again. Sobey attracts a crowd once more.
And I think right now would be a good time for Aaron Baines. Bring him in the game, change your offensive look slightly. Just get a little bit of physical toughness and presence out there.
Sobey shooting free throws at 9 and 10. Interestingly, for such a volume shooter, he's only had 10 field goal attempts for the game, Nathan Sobey.
Done a good job of selecting his moments to press. Seemingly getting better as the season goes along at it. Gets one of the two here.
Breaks a run of 10 straight points. It's the Bullets who find themselves ahead with 6 minutes remaining. Justin Schuller spoke about this game and how they let it slip last time they were at Kudos Bank Arena in round 7. This is their chance to right the wrongs of a few weeks ago. Galloway down the middle.
Well, that's just a poor closeout by Sobey. You got to know who you got. You got to know the scout. He runs straight at Galloway, who you're happy to give up that 3, because if you don't, he will up fake you like this. He will take 2 dribbles and he will say, hello, Kudos Bank Arena. Wow, what a shot.
In the words of the great Andrew Gaze, he threw that down with a reasonable level of authority. Shout out to you, Goat.
Good call here by Derek Rucker. Brought Bainesy back in. Smart move and Prager.
6 the difference. Down to Baines. Basket won't count. Foul was on the floor.
And that's what you were calling for, weren't you? Just that.
Yeah, it's going to change the look, and you see how the Kings have to converge down there. It's a tough matchup for Hunter, purely on the size of Baines. And they were able to get Tui in a switch in that situation. Adams is like, yeah, that's on the floor.
Norton back into the game for Brisbane. A bit of leadership and experience down the stretch. Scott, Norton, Baines, Sobey, Prather out there for Brisbane. Hunter, Adams, Galloway, Tui, and Bruce for Sydney. Prather blocked. Galloway comes up with a big play.
And a nice offensive set by Brisbane to get Prather underneath. But you see the Kings' athleticism, Galloway in particular. Look at that elevation, Brad.
Athlete.
Let's go, Sydney.
Great timing. Kings ball down 6.
Adams' little floater. 4 points of difference.
Back to work. Defense.
The Kings are coming home with a wet sail. And the challenge is back on Brisbane. And Sobey fouled while shooting the 3. He's 9 of 10 from the line today.
And those right there are coach killers by definition, Brad. Sobey feeling it. Obviously, Hunter felt the pressure. Good job by Sobey, too, on the acting, although there was contact. But you talk about letting the air out of the balloon. Sobey goes to the line to shoot 3 now and push this lead out to 7.
I'm listening in the words of Trevor Gleeson. Right hand, right arm. It's so simple, but when you go into the body, it's just an automatic call.
And especially when the guys that seemingly are fouled a lot, shooting the 3-pointers, are lighter-built guys. Bryce Cotton, Chris Golden, Nathan Sobey. The slightest bit of contact, in some cases more so than others, is gonna elicit a serious response.
They're led by as much as 17 early in the 4th quarter, Brisbane. And 3 free throws from Sobey. Just settles things down a little. Now the Kings are in full chase mode. Pardon the pun. Adams from the elbow. 2 more.
He's so good with that little flip shot. A lot like Todd Blanchfield's similar shot from mid-range. They got great touch with it, can hang in the air and finish well.
Well, this is the guy.
Oh, my.
That's nice. Wow, as good as Adams was, that's just beautiful by Sobey. But this is the guy, Adams, that the Kings are used to. Getting to the bucket and finishing.
Here he is being chased around by Norton, who dives on the loose ball. Brisbane come up with it. Shannon Scott couldn't score. And we've got some sweat on the floor.
Real stressful patch of play. Adams loses that one.
Oh, I'm just watching Mitch Norton there. Great defense here by Tui. And good follow. I'm just watching Mitch Norton. He's holding his left shoulder there as he dived under the ball. He looked in a lot of pain, but look at those numbers, Derek. That's fantastic basketball. Exactly what you need from your man.
What it does, it allows your other teammates a bit more margin for error offensively when your main guy is operating that efficiently.
The back of 35 last week. Another big afternoon for Nathan Sobey. Adams is having a big 4th quarter.
Up to 18 points now, 8 of 15 from the field, with 8 assists as well to go with that.
Timeout coming for the Bullets. Sobey used to work on Hunter. King's got a hand on it. 4 seconds from the baseline.
The spacing on the weak side wasn't great as Sobey put that ball on the deck. He was looking for the bailout. Trying to get the Baines, but Bannon should have been to the corner. Would have had an easy catch and shoot 3-ball.
The inbound, Sobey has to get it up. Norton with an almost uncontested offensive rebound.
I have it off Bruce's foot last.
Yep.
All right, white ball.
Coach Abdel Fattah was screaming at the officials, adamant that this was a Sydney ball. It's clearly off Sean Bruce.
Well, based on what we saw the last time, you may as well go ahead and challenge this one too, Brad.
He's sulking. Did you notice that? He got one wrong and he's sulking.
I know.
It's okay.
Pick your bottom lip up. Come on, we need you in the last 3 minutes, Derek. Shot clock at 7.
Fouling you, grabbing him.
Wow.
Foul on Hunter. That'll be his 4th.
And the Kings now committed their 5th foul. That's a big call.
Look, technically, yeah, I can see it, but you could call that all day, every time.
Plus, it was like the ball had been deflected out of bounds. Did it impact the play? Tough call, tough break for the Kings.
That hurts.
It's pretty good work, Cindy McDaniel. Get it louder. Where are them 4 fingers at?
Brisbane's last win here at Kudos Bank Arena came on the 9th of December 2017. They have had a horrible record in this venue of recent years. That might be about to change.
There was 3 fouls on that play.
And McDaniel to the other end, draws contact on Bruce.
And this is what happens sometimes when you're not playing well as a team. Sometimes the whistle doesn't go your way, Brad. We know this. There was a foul there. That could have gone either way. Not a bad job by Sobey.
But you know what I like? The fact that Sam McDaniel's in the game guarding Adams. That was the change-up that Justin went with. Adams has come into this quarter, and he is actually going to work. Well, let's get a bigger body on you. We've had others. That hasn't worked. And just that little bit more physicality can lead to turnovers like that.
You saved another one. Now, do you have anything left in you? Can you get it louder?
13,000 people try their hardest to put Sam McDaniel off.
Timeout here at Kudos Bank Arena.
Timeout, Sydney. It is 95-87. The Bullets in front.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
3 minutes remaining. It's tense.
It is, and again, the Bullets have done a great job protecting the basketball. The Kings have took 71 shots compared to the Bullets' 61, but the Bullets have shot 32 free throws to the Kings' 11, and that's been the difference in the game. The Bullets have made 17 more free throws.
Yeah. And they've done a great job from the three-point line as well, Derek. 11 of 22 for a team that has not shot the ball well at all this year. That's Brisbane.
And I don't think they've had a really good win in a number of weeks. So this would be a major scalp to claim right here on a Sunday afternoon.
Great to have your company for Sunday Hoops. 13,078 in the house at Kudos Bank Arena this afternoon. There are the Pump by Reebok influencer seats. There's Ashton Wicks. Hosts a very good podcast, Derek, about parenting. You and I could probably, in fact, Brad as well, we could all pick up a little bit more from that. Also has nearly 1 million followers across social media, which is a hell of a lot more than we have.
Wow. Wow, I'll be going over there and talking to my man, perhaps buying him a drink backstage at the wonderful Kings VIP function, Brad, that you never come to.
I am. I just hide from you, but I do come out there.
2 hours is enough, is it?
2 hours? 10 minutes.
Bullets by 8. Less than 3 minutes remaining. Valentine works his way in and is now in double figures.
Smart basketball.
He's got that. He's done that a lot in the game and in the season, so...
All about composure for Brisbane. Sobey, guarded by Alex Tui. Looks down to Bannon. He can't make it happen. Now Adams sees a mismatch, takes it straight at Bannon. And he'll be shooting free throws. Joe Healy.
Yeah, I was just listening to the Kings timeout there. To be honest, it really was used as a bit of a breather for them. They believe that they are in this, though. The message from Coach Mood was to stay calm and just chip away.
Well, I do agree. That is good, but I just felt Brisbane let them get away with that one. I thought their defensive transition was good, but then for whatever reason, Bannon went and took Adams, which he didn't need to in that time, and then Adams' eyes lit up and took him straight to the hoop.
This game, the importance of it grew in magnitude today with the results earlier. With New Zealand losing, it gives Sydney a chance to perhaps create a little space between themselves and 5th and below. And for Brisbane to win here would be able to put them up possibly into the top 6 or 7 at worst, Brad.
Yep. Well, that's the beauty of our season, isn't it? I mean, Adelaide beat the top team last night.
Yeah.
Simple.
Under 2 minutes. Brisbane's double-figure lead has all but evaporated. Sobey with a deep 3. No good. And the Kings settle in. Valentine off the money. Jalen Adams offensive rebound. Shot clock at 7. Tui for 3. Great look that rattles out.
Oh, that would have brought the house down. They all were riding that.
We were right behind that one, Derek. It looked good out of the hand.
And another foul there.
Hang on a minute. Kawat Noi not happy. Aaron Baines stepping in to try and break things up.
Get out, get out, get out, get out. I've got him. Get out.
Sam McDaniel steps away. Tension late at Kudos Bank Arena.
But guys, I need to go away from each other. Stop following.
Let's have another look here.
Guys, I need
That's
to separate.
definitely a foul.
Guys.
McDaniel took exception to Noy semi-walking over him, which is a cardinal sin in basketball, and you're just asking for an altercation. And you know it's a new year, Jack, when Baines is servicing as security. Resolutions abound.
Which is the normal foul on 21, unless you've got anything else.
If you're going Baines, you're going Moyers. Okay?
So how do the officials see this?
All right, 21. All right, and then we're shooting 2 shots by this.
With the foul, purple, 21. The push. 2.
That's good. Let all the other stuff go. Let's shoot the free throws. No need to make any decisions that may affect the outcome beyond what was the standard call.
Completely agree. Good decision, yet again, good refereeing. They spoke to each other, clear understanding, and move on.
Especially the baseline. Get that wave going with those 12 fingers. Everybody else make your noise.
The 92nd meeting between these two teams. The 3rd of the season. Round 3, Sydney winners. Round 7, Sydney winners over Brisbane. Right now, it's the Bullets
Yeah, I've spoken to him already.
who hold the advantage and have done for most of the afternoon.
And the Bullets have 2 timeouts left as well, with the Kings having 1. So they are in the box seat.
97-91. Can the Bullets hold their nerve late? Adams goes to work on McDaniel and gets himself to the strike.
So tough. You want to force him over that screen and not let him come back. But as You can see he's just such a tough guy to guard. The lower body strength just enables him to get where he wants to go.
And he's so committed now and determined to get to the rack and put pressure on that Bullets. Not only their perimeter defender, but then the interior defense when they elect to come and help. Now he's got to make some free throws.
That wasn't part of their plan. Been pretty good from the line today, Sydney. 11 of 14. And a substitute for the Kings. Noy out, Galloway back in.
Well, I do like this sub to get some length on the defensive end. I would assume you'd want him on Sobey.
And that's where he's headed. Sobey with 27. Late clock once more. He goes down to Bannon. Jet drops.
Excellent decision from Nathan Sobey. He fought the inner turmoil to be the hero himself, made a smart decision to take advantage of the mismatch.
Kings need quick points now.
Well, Derek, I completely agree, but I'm going to go back and say, why did the Kings need to switch that?
Because that's what they do.
Right, but should they?
In that instance, I didn't find the screen threatening enough. The initial threat, fight over it. If you brought Galloway into the game to defend, then let him defend the Kings, the Bullets' main guy, which was Nathan Sobey. He could have gotten over that initial screen.
If I'm
the Bullets weren't looking to go early anyway.
100%. If I'm guarding Sobey, I do not want to be switched on Bannon. That is just not a match I want.
No.
But I'm happy to go to Sobey if that's the role that you're playing.
Oof.
Every miss is like a little dagger through the hearts of Kings fans.
And Nathan Sobey and Justin Schuler have come to an agreement on what play this would be. And Schuler smartly goes to the score bench and calls a timeout as the Kings had applied pressure up the floor.
Let's take another look here. Talk us through it.
So Sobey fumbled there. He's got the mismatch. He wants to go, but he realizes Galloway comes over, and now they've got Bannon against a much smaller guard. Bannon's really good in there. He elevates, gets a quality shot, nothing crazy. Bullets take advantage.
Nathan Sobey's been excellent again today, Brad. 27 points, 6 of 13 from the field. But you've both spoken during the game about him being a little more selective today.
Well, I think Derek summed it up perfectly. It's the first 3 or 4 possessions that he's been able to get, I guess, the right, whether it be easy or good looks, then he's rolling. Once he gets rolling, and you'll see by his shot chart coming up shortly, he's been good shots. Couple of Sobey ones, as you'd probably call it, Derek. But all in all, he has been outstanding. Look at that Blackmore's shot chart. Certainly likes the left-hand side of the court. But what a great game.
He's having a great season.
He is, and right now is when he needs to step up and perform the best. Every game is a playoff game right now for the Brisbane Bullets. They're off to a great final phase of the season right here this afternoon in Kudos Bank Arena. Can they close it out in this final 32 seconds?
Well, Scott, Baines, Bannon, Sobey, McDaniel on the floor for Brisbane. Galloway, Bruce, Noy, Tui, Valentine.
I was just going to say no Adams, which is very interesting. 32 seconds left.
It's knocked out of play.
He hits the ball first, that's the problem.
Isn't too far away from us, it'll be a Brisbane ball.
Hits the ball first.
Was there contact there, Brad?
Looked like it. We were very close. You just heard the ref say he gets the ball first.
He's going to check the out of bounds.
Derek, we've seen this a couple of times, and we're going to the out of bounds here, and I'll come back to that.
That's a foul. If getting the ball first makes a difference on whether or not a foul is called, I would have changed my whole mindset. There's contact there, Brad.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to ask you, because we've seen this a few times while they're reviewing this. Adam's out of the game for the end. This is now the second time we've been here and we've seen this. What is that statement from the coach?
Obviously, he doesn't want him in there for defensive purposes when they need stops late in the game. The only problem is, and Abdel Fattah's background is out of the G League, they have the ability to stop games easier over there than we do here and make substitutions and get guys in the game. So the defense-offense game.
Wow.
Well, look at that. Yeah, I just saw that last little one there. As he hits it, just his fingertips there. But, yeah, I'm with you, Derek. Oh, and here he comes now, like what you're saying, for those stoppages.
And here comes Mitch Norton.
And obviously, we weren't reviewing the foul there, so the contact was irrelevant. We were only looking at the out of bounds, so I don't want to confuse the viewers. But I thought the foul should have been called.
Under 30 seconds remaining. Sydney must score off this possession. Great D from Baines. Forces a tough look from Valentine that wasn't far away. And now the Kings have got to play the foul game.
Great, Jack, you called it perfectly. Great D from Baines. No foul, just made it a tough shot. Look at Baines, slides his feet here, got his hands up.
Outstanding defense from Aaron Baines on a very tricky guy to defend and a good contest without fouling.
Just saw Aaron Baines and Justin Schuller just caught eye contact with each other and just had a little smile. They know this is a big one.
Well, there's the 100. And we spoke about that. That could potentially be, out of their last 7 losses, 6 of them are now going to be where the opposition, this is the Kings, the opposition scored 100 points or more. And the only other game was when Perth scored 94.
And that's the problem, Brad.
Yep.
And, you know, I go back to earlier in the year and we were highlighting some of the issues that Sydney had. And Kings fans, to be honest, they didn't like it and thought they were perhaps being a little critical, but defensively, as you've rightly pointed out, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah, I thought Pete Hurley wrapped it up well when we were here the other night. He said, I don't know what team is their best defensive team. Now, you talk of Glover, I mean, we've brought him up. We haven't seen him since the 3rd quarter when he knocked down that 3 and gave him a bit of energy.
Can't make sense of that.
Yeah, I don't know if they know what their best 5 is, Derek, to, right, we're going to run this. They're never up the floor. They don't press. I think you just got to change something.
You should have an idea what lineups you want to go with given the context of any game. If you want to get up the floor more, if you want to slow it down, if you want to have a defensive focus, if you're looking for three-point shooting or early offense, whatever may be the case that a basketball game potentially could present to you, you would hope that each team has an idea of what each lineup would look like. And ultimately, when I need to play my best 5, who is that best 5?
Yep. I think, Jack, am I right? This is their 4th loss in a row at home? If I'm not mistaken, Southeast, Illawarra, Melbourne.
Yep. And today?
And today. Wow.
And it's in the space of that timeout, it's an exodus at Kudos Bank Arena. We've gone from 13,000 to probably half of that.
Yep. Yeah, it's very quiet in here.
Thanks, bro. Jalen, just on the bottom line here. Dan, don't come over, automatic here.
Well, I must admit, I expected the Bulls to put on a pretty good performance, but I didn't expect this level of superiority today as the Kings fumble it away. And Jack, wrap us up.
They want a late bucket. Norton will fire away. Their 9th win of the season, and it might very well have been their best win of the season. The Brisbane Bullets, after 2 straight losses this season already to Sydney, hit them hard on their home floor today, 101-93.
An amazing performance. They came out from the tip determined. Again, a team gets behind against the Sydney Kings early,
but never loses sight of what they're trying to do throughout the course of 40 minutes. They stuck with it. It started to pay dividends late in the first quarter. And then, Brad, from that point on, the Kings were never really a threat to win this game.
Completely agree. You have to pay credit to the Brisbane Bullets. We've spoken a lot about the defense of the Kings, but let's just give credit to the Bullets. Outstanding play, extremely well coached. Great to see Prey the back and playing, but good win.
Let's get over to Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. I've got the Foot Locker player of the game with me, Nathan Sobey. Congratulations, a massive win for you guys. Wonderful individual performance, but also some of your role players really stepped up too. Yeah, I mean, it was a group effort today. It was always going to be a group effort coming down here. It's a hard place to win, so after that rocky start that we talked about at halftime, I think we settled the ship and did a really good job from there on out. Justin said at one point during the game that this is what playoff basketball is feel like. I know you've been there, but how important was this win for you guys? I haven't been there for a while, so it's good to have these sorts of games. Like we're playing for our season right now to try and get in that 6, so we just keep taking it one game at a time and keep ticking them off as we go. First time we saw Casey Prey out there for you as well. What did it feel to have him on the court? I mean, I'm just glad he's on my team this time. I had a lot of competition against him, and he's a winner in this league, so I'm glad he's on our team. And stoked for him to be on the court. He come on, hit a couple of threes. Like, he was big time for us. He's just going to keep building and building. Congratulations again. Enjoy it. Thank you. Cheers.
They haven't won at Kudos Bank Arena since 2017. It was a good start for Sydney, but after quarter time, it was all Brisbane.
It was, and as Nathan alluded to in the interview, they did get good contributions from their role players. Bannon, 13 points, 9 boards. Baines came in, gave them a valuable 8 points. Just an outstanding team win, Brad.
101-93, the final score. We're going to be back to wrap it up on the other side of this.
It's a huge day for us, doubleheader, as you said, but fundraising and what the day means.
And the big thing to hear, you gotta wear pink. We're gonna turn this whole thing pink, which is hard to do when the seats are red.
Something pink, anything, pink hat, something like so. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the Accor Brewery, if you want to go afterwards, you can meet some of the players. The Accor Brewery is the place to be. So go straight there, and some of the players will be able to meet so much. But we didn't get the result. Next Sunday is massive. It's a first for the Kings, for the pink round. So we won 14,000, 15,000 in here. But yeah, we're still there. Don't give up on the Kings.
All right, everybody, thanks for being here. Drive safe going home, and we'll see you next Sunday. Make some noise, everybody. It's the Sydney Kings. If you're looking beyond the arc to achieve your financial goals, Beyond Bank can help make it happen. Beyond Bank is for you and with you. Back the team that backs the Sydney Kings. Beyond Bank, for and with you.
Okay, I'm caught. My love language is physical touch. Feel that leather on your hide. Hold on to your hat, cowboy. It's about to get wild.
Love drives everything in car. All cars are impeccably detailed, backed with 7-day returns, and delivered to your door.
Welcome back to Sunday Hoops. The Brisbane Bullets winners today, 101-93 over the Sydney Kings. It was a win that was set up in the second quarter.
You're right, Jack, and I often say that road wins build the character of the playing group, and no doubt this will go a long way, Brad, in helping this Bullets team navigate its way throughout the rest of the season.
Well, you look at the Mitsubishi Motors ladder there. That's a bad loss for the Kings. 10-10 now. Brisbane, well, they just had to get it. Exactly what you said. Doesn't matter the position. Look at that. 11 losses, 9 wins. But look at third and fourth. So they're a couple of wins away. But wow, this is going to be a fantastic race home.
Gee, it sets it up for a fascinating round of what's coming up next. It is a Wednesday start as well. The Brisbane Bullets will be in action against Tasmania on Wednesday night. All of a sudden, the Bullets back on their home floor with some momentum.
They are, and they've got their guy cooking right now. Nathan Sobey has played 2 outstanding games back-to-back, and I just think it's going to be a fascinating round. Start off, as you said, Jack Jumpers at the Bullets, and these Kings, now they go down to Adelaide, and based on last night's results, that game looks totally different, Brad.
Well, the one I can't wait, that Bullets-Hawks game. I know the Bullets have got another one against the Jackies, but those two teams, that could be 6th spot going, bro. I love it.
Wednesday, 7:30 p.m, we are back to start round 15. On behalf of Brad Rose and Derek Rucker, Joe Healy and our team behind the scenes, who are the very best in the business. Thanks so much for being with us this afternoon. We'll catch you on Wednesday.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.